just kind of a ad hoc type of cooking stream because you guys came in, you voted, and now you're getting it. So hope you enjoy this. We don't do this every day. We did like a light salad cooking thing the last go around, and this time we're gonna beef it up a bit. And to beef it up, well, what's better than some beef? So that's what I got here. It's Black Angus. So if you guys know Black Angus, they're bred a certain way so that the beef is more tender, basically right out of the package. So I'm gonna get this together. I got 2 packs. This is about 2+ pounds. Yeah, it's about 2-ish pounds of beef for it's stewing beef. Black Angus though, so it's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and cut right into this. Here, I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm just gonna cut right into this. I'm gonna put it in a separate bowl. Oh, platter, better. Look at that. And if you guys could see over here, that's right. I'll redirect you over here in just a sec, anyway. So before I do anything, once again, like I keep here. I'm talking off screen here. I'll move you guys a little bit so you can see. A little chat while I'm doing this. Hey, Mary. It's like auto zooming. Okay. Put him on the spit boy. We frying some pickleton tonight. Don't tell Pickleton that. So washing the hands again. 20 seconds. Probably 125-degree water, so we're good. Maybe it's 130. I don't know. It's pretty hot. Get a good 20 seconds here. Yep. Nobody wants any filth in their food. Especially I've been handling that SNES controller all night. Alright, once we're all washed, got my single-use towel. Right, we're drying off. We good, chat? We good. We're good. Alright, so now I'm basically just running some cool water. I like to rinse. You don't have to rinse, obviously. I mean, I think it's good to rinse. But I guess it depends on where you're getting your meat. But in this case, I am rinsing. I'm basically just opening up the package right now. I'm getting the beef staged because we're going to do some things with it in just a moment. Alright. Now that that's all set, you can grab one package at a time. I'll let you guys see this in just a moment. Get a good look, check it out. Alright, let's bring it over. You guys can see. There you go. So that's our beef. I'll move that in just a sec. I'm going to be rinsing my hands, or washing my hands again anyway, just because I just touched raw beef. A couple pieces here that are a little fatty. It's okay to have some fat in this. It's just going to cook off in the crock pot over a couple hours anyway. So not a big deal. I will probably trim it just a bit, just so we could get it a little leaner. So yeah, what actually I could start there first, but I'm gonna wash my hands again. Yeah, I agree. Flat that you want some fat. When I say trimming it down, I'm speaking more to like there's some pieces that kind of have they're kind of cartilage heavy, like and I don't think we like that. You know, kind of tough. Yeah, like this one right here. You get a look at this with the this piece right here. That piece I'm not so sure about. So you know, actually, I'll probably just dump that whole piece. The hell with it. But yeah, there's just a couple pieces that need to get trimmed up a little bit because you know you don't want to bite into like a nice piece of this when it's all said and done and have like big thing cartilage in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'll do. I'll start with this cutting board. Let me move this. This is why I wash my hands again. So yeah, just a couple pieces here I'm trimming down. Nothing crazy. Yeah, it's more so like these pieces of like thick cartilage that I'm getting rid of because there's a few of those. I'm not keen on that. A little fat to Blab's point. It's gonna cook off. Probably just enhance the flavor, honestly, of the stew. The rest of this is actually pretty lean and tender. Like I said, I was going for like some black Angus so that it wouldn't be that would be fairly tender right out of the package. A couple of these chunks could be a little smaller too. But yeah, I mean, these are pretty sizable chunks, like you can see relative to my hand. Why is calf bullying you? But yeah, you can see. I mean, here. It's pretty close shot. But yeah, I mean, you guys, I'm sure have seen beef before, but that's what you're looking for. This is a couple pounds of just chunk stewing beef. Have that ready to go. That's on the side. That's good. That's good. That's trash. Remember what I told you last time? Cut away from your hand. Keep your fingers tucked. Same deal. It all applies. Yeah, Casey's. I don't know. Maybe she smells the beef. I don't really know why she's bugging out. All right, but as far as this goes, so I'm just gonna season this with some salt and pepper. Again, hand washing. You will notice I wash my hands a lot while I'm cooking, just so I don't cross contaminate. So let's go with. So again, this is just some sea salt, some black peppercorns. So let me get this here so you can see a little better. So we're just gonna season this to taste. Again, I'm kind of liberal with the salt and pepper on a beef stew because it's all gonna get infused with the flavors anyway. So again, we're just grinding some black pepper here. It's pretty good. Again, this is enough pepper for the stew also. So I season my beef with the salt and pepper, and that's what's going to season the stew as far as salt and pepper goes. You can always add salt and pepper to taste afterward, so that's fine too. Let's turn this a little bit this way because we're going to get more to the cutting in just a sec. So we got that. Let's turn it over to some of the things that we're going to be sauteing the beef with first. So the beef is just one of the ingredients. Obviously, it's an important one, but it doesn't just get thrown into the crock pot at this point. We are going to saute the beef. We're going to brown it. So in order to brown it, what are we browning it with? So here's first up. You guys will probably recognize all this stuff here. We got right here in my left hand, we got garlic. Right, we all seen garlic before. This hand, can you guys see what these are? I'm sure Flabadil knows what these are. These are shallots. Okay, so if you want a little bit more flavor out of your onions, I'd recommend getting a nice olive oil base with some minced shallot and garlic, and they'll give you a great base for sauteing the beef. And that's what we're going to do first. We're going to get the shallots and garlic together before we brown the beef. So as far as the shallot goes, just like any other onion, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to just cut away from the shallot, cut the ends. Again, cut away from your fingers. So just having this, just like an outer layer of skin that you got to peel off. And you'll know it when you see it. Here, you can see. Like, it's still got some of that outer layer. We got to get rid of that. What's going on? We spamming again, chat? Alright. This outer layer is a little thick on this one, so I'm just going to peel back one layer of the shallot to get what's underneath. There we go. That's looking good. I'll show you in a sec. Close up. Actually, let me move this so you could really see close up here. There we go. Okay, shallot. We're not done. I got a couple of these because we're making again, we got 2 pounds of beef here, so we're not just going, we're going big. I want to have some to freeze, and that's how I recommend when you're making these yourself. Might as well just, if you're going to make it, if you're going to go through the time and effort to get all these ingredients, get enough to make a few nights worth. Freeze it. It freezes very well, reheats very well. So here you go. Here's in my hand, just my clean hand. We got a couple of cut shallots. Okay, there you go. We're going to do one more. Cool. Why not? We all love the flavors. Here, I'm going to put, after this, I'm going to put a little something like we did last time in the background so you guys can have just a little light tunes while we go. Because we're just getting started here. All right. So we got this other shallot peeled. Here, this one's a little rounder. Okay, and let's get... Here, we'll put this on for you guys. Just gotta keep it low.
These days, there is...
Should be faint enough that you could hear it just in the background a little bit. There we go. Alright, I'm just gonna peel off a few of these cloves of garlic. Some of this is organic. I try to get organic when I can. I think it's arguable, the extent of the difference between them, but, if we could have some fewer pesticides maybe and such, I think that's always a good thing. Put that ad back, that's your jam? Sorry, dude. We're trying to be in an ad-free zone to the extent that we can be. So, with the cloves of garlic, I'm basically just cutting the ends off. Here, let me see if I can get close once again. Here's the shallots, this way you can see it up close. So that's our shallot that's already cut over there. Here's the garlic. So I'm just gonna cut the ends off. Three. Again, we got a lot here, so I'm probably gonna go a little heavier on the garlic than I might if it was like half the amount. So if normally I do like, let's say, I don't know, for half this amount I might do something like 6 to 8 cloves. I might go 12 to 16 cloves of garlic here, since we're making a good amount. Again, same deal, cutting away. Always careful with that chef's knife. Any month simpers? Come on, guys. Don't be shy. So I like this thing. It's kind of dandy. I don't know if you guys have seen something like this before, but you basically roll the garlic inside of here, and it'll, you know, instead of like just smashing the garlic with the knife to remove the skin, you kind of roll it away with this. It's pretty nifty as far as kitchen gadgets go. Just roll it. See? Garlic comes right out. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit so I'm not blocking. Alright. I think that's good. So I'm just gonna go through these. Try not to take too long. You know, we don't want to just make this a garlic. Although I don't know, maybe we do want to make it a garlic stream. Was this Kay's cooking with 1am? I should hope that I could do a little better than Kay. I mean, although I still can't tell if it's meant to be a joke. I think it's a meme. I can't imagine anybody's really that bad in the kitchen. Is it possible? I don't know if it's possible for somebody to be that bad in the kitchen and not know, and especially not know that they're that bad. I mean, that'd be really insane to not even realize that you're as bad as that. Oh, then again, it looks like she has her son, like, telling her, "Oh, yeah, Mom, it's good. This food is the best I've ever had." Except it's not. So again, this is so easy. You just roll it in here. I mean, obviously the last time I bought pre-cut garlic. But, you know, I was really going for fresh as much as possible out of this. So I definitely want to try to... Hang on. Clove looked a little dirty. Just rinsed it. But yeah, I definitely try to get as much fresh ingredients as possible. It really does make the difference. You can make canned tomato soup. Good job. Good job, Gordon. So we're almost done with the garlic. Honestly, this is probably one of the most time-consuming parts, is the garlic. Yo, Pepsi Open, thank you for the follow. So right here, we already got 7-8 cloves of garlic, but we're gonna double this. I mean, I don't think anybody here is probably offended by a little extra garlic, especially in a big stew. But can Gordon speedrun Super Metroid? That's a good question. I don't know. He could speedrun a kitchen by the looks of it. Really not so sure about speedrunning SM, though. Yep. Working on getting those sponsorships, Caffeine. Alright. So we got 8 cloves right there. I guess we'll crack open this other bowl with garlic. More of a Coca-Cola? Yeah, that's right. Teach their own, John. Teach their own. Alright, so we got 3 more, 4 more. Let's get just 5, 6. See, 1 AM can count. 7, 8. Alright, that should be good. For a stew of this size, I'd say 16 cloves is sufficient on 2 pounds of beef. I mean, it's definitely enough. You're gonna taste it. It's gonna pack it with flavor. And don't worry, if you're concerned that the garlic is gonna overwhelm it, it's not. There's gonna be so much flavor. It's gonna be bursting with so many flavors, and it's gonna be so robust when we're done that the garlic will just be yet another like zesty infusion within the meat. And you'll see that in just a moment. So for right now, I'm still just, getting the skins off the garlic. So I'll cut the ends off first here. Try and get this so that you guys could see it as best as possible. So we are in 1080, so you guys should be able to, if your transcoding is a little bit blurry, just double check, make sure you're viewing in source 1080 at 60 frames. Alright. So cut those ends off. Now I can just get these skins off and we'll be good to go. So there's definitely some prep time with this, and that's why I kind of leave it for like a night where, maybe I have a little extra time to put into something like this. It's a good thing to do on a Saturday or Sunday. Not exactly something you're going to do midweek. Kind of put too much pressure on that one, it's fine. The hyper-diagonal butt overflow, that's what we're talking about. What a name for a trick. Just a couple more cloves here and we're all set with that. Just pops right out peeled, for the most part. A little skin on that one. Got it off. One more. Sometimes if the garlic skin is really sticking to it, I just give it a quick rinse under the water. Alright, so there you go. There's it's about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, it's about 16 cloves right there. And like I said, 3 shallots. So it's going to be a very nice... let me talk so you guys can see me. So it's going to be a very nice reduction. So what are we doing with this? I'm going to actually cut the shallot just a little bit smaller. Let me rinse my chef's knife. So I'm just going to cut these, maybe one. It's going to go into the mincer. So again, Here's a close-up on the shallot. And I'm just going to quarter it. And it's going to go right into the mincer. Let's see, I don't know if you guys could see it behind me. Let's take a look. Here, I'm going to turn it for you all. Okay, right into the mincer. Wait, what did Funtoon say? Who we permit banning? Nah, we don't want to permit ban because I'm gonna get all kinds of messages late night like, "Hey, Mr. Streamer, I got perma ban. Can we talk about it? What did I do wrong?" It doesn't have to be too fine. I mean, honestly, it's better if it's, like, not too fine with the shallot. It's all going to reduce in the stew anyway, so it's really not a big deal either way. But you don't want to burn it, okay? It's very important that you don't overcook. Obviously, you're going to braise the meat, you're going to brown it, you're going to be sauteing the shallot and the garlic. You'll see that in just a moment. But, so that's all set. Let me get out a nice large-size pan for us, because we're going to be putting this all into one pan. So, this is a pretty large pan. I'm gonna give it a rinse. Beautiful. Alright, chat. So we got a nice large pan here. Let me put it right down the center so you guys can see exactly how this is going to shape up. So there you go. Here's our pan. It's hard to gauge just how big it is, but it's pretty big. So we're going to put some olive oil in here, okay? That's what we're going to use. There will be some butter that will get added later directly into the stew, but for right now, it's going to be, this is stainless steel. This is good quality, I mean, you can see. I mean, this is not like Teflon crap. I mean, this is going to cook up nicely. So we're just going to add some olive oil directly into the pan, okay? I put a pretty liberal amount of olive oil. We're going to have a good amount of beef. We're going to have a good amount of shallot and garlic. So, plus it's going to get added to the stew anyway. I don't want to go too heavy. Like, it's enough to coat the bottom, but I don't want it drowning in olive oil. If you do put too much, this actually might be a little too much. I might dump just a little bit. Hang on. Alright, that's good. You don't want too much, because otherwise you're going to have a layer of olive oil just sit at the top of your stew when it's all done. And you don't want it to be like an olive oil stew. that beef is going to crust on the bottom perfectly. Oh, it's going to be great. So while I get this going, I'm actually going to get a medium heat on. So I got a large burner on back there on a medium heat. I don't want to burn it, but I do want to braise and brown the beef. You can see, once again, we've already seasoned the beef with salt and pepper. I've got the shallot right here, so we're now going to add the shallot. Okay, so we're going to add the shallot directly into the pan. Yeah, this is a thick pan. I mean, this is a big pan. It's hard to tell maybe through the stream, so maybe I'll do another visual for you, but, you know, this is 3 shallots. 3, like, good medium-sized shallots in this pan. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cooking the shallot in the olive oil, just sauteing it on that medium heat, just to get it simmering. Yeah, it's pretty good size. I do have a wok, but here's my hand, just in comparison. You can see how big this pan is. Here. Like, you can see, it's a pretty large size. Anyway, so I'm basically just going to coat the bottom of the pan a little bit. Get it right on the heat back there. I actually like the spaghetti stir because it helps to avoid like things getting clumped up in a spoon. So I like it to actually just, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll bring you a little closer. You can see this pan back there. Alright, so you can see, I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit in the pan, just get it covered in the olive oil. This way it's not gonna burn, it all starts to saute in the olive oil nicely. I'm just gonna get started here. I might have actually had enough olive oil. I could probably put a little bit more of that olive oil back in. I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want to underdo it either. Alright, I think that's enough. So while that's on medium heat, now I'm going to get this garlic back into the mincer. Okay? So like I said, we got 16 cloves of garlic right here. And we're going to mince those. Those are going to get added in with the beef at the time that we're braising it, because the garlic cooks off faster than the shallot. Wow, chat, you should smell it in here. Yeah, this is already cooking off nicely. We're getting a nice little saute on the medium heat. I'll lower it in a little bit once we get hot. I'll get down to like low. No, I'll probably keep it at the medium heat actually, because I want the beef to start braising as soon as it hits the hot pan. So there you go. There's the fresh garlic, all minced nicely. Okay. Just gonna get the garlic together. So what I might do is I might move you guys by the stovetop. This way you can see it over there too. As I add it. This way I have to bring the pan back and forth to you all. So we got our garlic ready to go. Here, I'll put that right there so you guys can see. Oh yeah, look at this go. Check this out. So that's already the, what you're seeing there, this is the shallot sauteing in the olive oil, okay? But I'm gonna bring you over closer. I think that's the way to go. See how we're gonna do this. Carefully, I'm guessing. Oh, somebody's knocking. Hang on. Who dat? Who dat? Oh, it's boss. Don't worry, we're good. Alright. So now that we're closer, let's see if we could get a good shot at this. Oh yeah, you can see this. We'll put you... Chat, we'll put you over here, I'm thinking. Put you on top of this thing. No. Let's go here. I'm gonna lower that heat just a drop. Sure you're getting a clear shot. Alright. Kind of getting a clear shot still. Alright. It's definitely starting to get hot. So now I'm going to add the beef. You guys can see this still. I'm about to add the beef. Alright. I was right the first time with the amount of olive oil. That's fine. Alright, we're gonna get the garlic in here now. So here's our minced garlic. I'm adding it right to the olive oil and shallot blend. Good. Okay, I'm actually going to raise the heat just a little bit to get it nice and hot, because now we're going to braise the beef right into the skillet. Now, when should we be expecting our samples? That's a good question. Do they accept this to be a P.O. box? I don't know if it's going to taste the same. Here, take a good look. There you go. So again, this smells amazing right now. Yeah, you guys could probably see the steam a little bit. So again, this is basically just some shallot, some garlic, some olive oil. I got a nice high heat. I don't want to burn it. Okay, I don't want to burn the onion. I don't want to brown the onion. What I do want to do is add the beef now. So here we go. Here's the beef. Once again, we've already seasoned this to taste. Salt and pepper is in here. We're going to go ahead, and we've got our nice hot skillet. We've got all of our ingredients in here. I'm just going to basically drop the beef right in. Not sure how I feel about this angle. Let's try something like this. Okay, so the beef is in. The shallot, the garlic, it's all sauteing in the olive oil. I'm just trying to get two different angles for you guys. This is the tricky part, is I'm not used to doing this. Here's how we'll do it. There, I think that's the way. How's that? Okay, yeah, now you guys can see me, and you can see the pan. Perfect. So again, I'm braising this beef now. The heat is like on a medium-high heat. Not too high, you don't want to burn it. But again, to get it braised, you really need to have a hot skillet. And again, at the same time, you're getting like this great base of this great base of the shallot and garlic with the beef, and you're really infusing all that flavor into this beef. And again, the beef is very simple. It's just salt and pepper. I'm, again, keeping this heat on almost high, like one notch below high so it doesn't burn. And I'm not sauteing it too much. Like, I'm not turning it too much. I'm just checking in on it, making sure it's cooking evenly, and that we're not burning or sticking to the bottom of the pan. Anything that does stick to the bottom of the pan, it's okay, because we're going to add something in just a moment that'll give us a nice reduction, and we'll be in good shape either way. So, at this point, it just smells amazing. I wish you guys had, the smell-o-vision, but we'll make do. So while that's sauteing for a moment, I'm gonna get another pot out. Now, I don't know if you can see me. Hello. What I'm doing right here is I'm just filling a pot with some water. Hang on. Yeah, it's definitely cooking up. Let me get this for... I want it to get too hot. Oh yeah. The color on this is starting to come together. Now put a big ass tripod upside to your ceiling and place the camera on it. You're right, Slay. I should have thought of that first. Such a noob. Right. We'll just leave that for a moment. Okay, this right here, I'm just getting a pot of water to boil. The reason I'm getting a pot of water to boil is to just kind of prime the potatoes. And what do I mean by that? So the crock pot is great for like hours-long cooking, but sometimes it has a little trouble really getting potatoes tender for some time. You really need to cook it all day if you're going to get potatoes tender just from the crock pot by itself. So typically what I might do is actually boil the potatoes for about 10 to 15 minutes. Not all the way. I don't want them cooked all the way through. But I do want to get them a little bit tender so that the crock pot could do the rest of the job. Get this heat a little higher. Yeah, let me get you guys up close and personal with this. Let's take a look here. Gotta come to you for them huge brain ideas. It's true. Slay knows what's good. All right. So this is the part where it's a fine line. You got to kind of, again, you're braising this beef, but at the same time, you don't want to sit it too long because you don't want to burn your. You obviously don't want to burn your garlic and onions here. So once I have this browned sufficiently, I'm going to add my next ingredient to this reduction. Who wants to guess the next ingredient? Can you guys guess it? Come on, somebody out there can guess what's next. What's next? What's going in? What do you think, chat? Alright, the anticipation's killing you. We say a little vino, a little red wine. So we're gonna add some red wine to the reduction here. What's gonna be the reduction of the base. And I'm kind of liberal with this too. So we're just gonna pour this right in. I'm going to let that cook off for a couple minutes. It's also going to reduce. So while it's cooking off the red wine, it'll reduce. It'll help caramelize a little bit. And it's just going to give us a great deep flavor that's going to help to be a foundation for this stew. Get all this good stuff, all the shallot and garlic into this blend. You know, the beef, it's taking in all these flavors. Yeah, a closer look. There you go. So this isn't going to take too long. This is going to reduce pretty quickly, this wine. In fact, it's already reducing. I'm going to cut the heat a little bit, maybe down to a low simmer. I'd say a low simmer is going to cut it. Well, that's on a low simmer. I'm going to bring you guys back to the cutting boards. Here, I'll give you one more look at the at our braised beef. Here, get this out of here. Get a nice clear look for you. So again, this is the braised beef. It's got again, this is a reduction of the sautéed shallot and garlic, along with the beef, just seasoned with salt and pepper. And now we have some red wine, some Cabernet, but you know, you can use whatever you choose. Reds go pair very well with beef, so it makes it for a nice reduction. But yeah, so that's just a starter. So now I'm going to bring you guys back. Hang on. I do this without dropping everything. Alright, I think we're back in action. Okay, crock pot is plugged in. I'm actually gonna get this crock pot on high. Move this cam here. Okay, good. So we got the cutting boards back. This one could go. And I'm gonna rinse the one that we're cutting the vegetables on, so you guys get a good look at this. Okay, so this is our vegetable cutting board right here. I'm gonna prop this camera up for you. We still there? Wasn't sure if I cut stream for a sec. I think we're still good. Did it go dark for a second? My bad. Looks like this cam needs to get refreshed. Okay, we're back. Alright, so next up. Okay, so what I have right here is a bag of red potatoes. You can see. I'm basically just going to rinse them. I'm going to drop them right into the boiling water. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Red potatoes, you can find them anywhere. Most places anyway. I mean, I already kind of pre-selected them, you know, to make sure there's nothing really ratty with them. But yeah, they're just getting a rinse, going right into the boiling water for about 10 minutes. So I'm putting up about 10 of these medium-sized red potatoes. I mean, they're not that big. I can fit two in a hand, basically. And since we're doing 2 pounds of beef, I figure like five medium red potatoes, which aren't, it's not like Idaho baked potatoes. They're not like massive or anything. So I figure like 5 of these per pound is pretty good. So I figure 10 of these, pretty good. You're gonna get about, for 2 people or 3 people, I would say this is going to be, for 3 people, probably 2 nights of meals. For 3. If you have like a party of 6, maybe it's 1 night's meal, but, or if it's 1 person, you're going to get, I don't know, 5, 6 nights of meals out of this. And this beef is awesome. I'm going to show you guys this before we add it to the stew. But just to recap, so the beef is in the pan, it's sauteing. Alright? The potatoes are in the pot, they're boiling for about 10 minutes. Here, I'm going to put myself on timer so I don't forget. So that'll go off. If you guys hear something going off and I don't hear it, that's to take the potatoes off. Okay, while that's going, a couple of things that we're going to add to this. So for a beef stew, we got carrots in the bag, celery. I'm going to take a couple of stalks out. For this much beef, I'm thinking probably, these are short stalks of celery, and they're kind of thin too. 2, 3. I mean, go based on your preference, but for something like this, I'd say 6 of these little these are teeny stalks, like teeny tiny. So I'm thinking like definitely 6, based on how small these are. Alright, should be enough. Actually, once I cut them down, it's going to need to be more. So yeah, if these were large sticks, I'd say like 4, but since they're so tiny, I'm thinking like 8, because they're so small. And we're doing, again, a large stew. So I'm just cutting the ends off. Go both sides. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Again, I basically just rinsed it off, cutting off the ends. It's usually what you want to do for a lot of vegetables. Alright. So, this is all ready to go. I'm not going to cut them too small. You know, this isn't like when we did the salads that time. We actually need it to be somewhat decent size so that it doesn't like just become like mush inside the stew. So, I'm probably just going to do a coarse like chop. Not even a chop, like a coarse just slice on these. Actually, give one more rinse just to be good. And the celery I may actually add after about an hour. I'm going to probably let it cook off the beef with the potatoes and add the celery, the green beans later on. Because there's a lot of things they can throw into this. You can throw some parsley if you want. I mean, there's really... it's about what you like, your flavor profile that you're going for. But yeah, for this right now, I would just do like a nice, decently coarse chop. You don't want it too big. You want it to be like mouse size, but remember, it's gonna shrink up a little bit in the stew. So you can kind of get a gauge here. You can see right here. There's a gauge of the size of the celery pieces that are going in the stew. So again, I'm keeping my fingers tucked, right? Fingers tucked. Just going right in. Yeah, and some of them could be a little smaller. It's okay. It's not going to get lost in there. But generally, I like to keep my vegetables at least medium-sized chunks, because you don't want to lose them, and you don't want to lose the color either. Just makes for like a heartier stew than if you went super small on the slices. Alright, so what I'm going to do with this, yeah, it's a nice chop here. So I'm going to put these aside because these are going to get added towards the end. So we're just going to park this for a moment. Yeah, so you can see on the cam. Alright, so we're just transferring right now. Celery for later to get added. I don't know, I may even add more. We'll see. Next, I want to get the carrots in pretty quickly. So these are already pre-washed, rinsed carrot, and they're baby carrots. So you could probably just throw them in just like this. If you want to, you could cut them smaller if you think there's some pieces that are kind of on the large side. But to be honest, these baby carrots are pretty small. When I look at these, here, I'll let you see. When I look at these baby carrots, I'm not seeing anything that stands out as like, very large. So I'll probably just check the ends, make sure they're good. But yeah, I'm probably just going to add them as they are. And they'll just get nice and tender with the potatoes. Everyone killing the baby carrots, the poor baby carrots. The humanity. But yeah, looking at these, these look great. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff you just toss in. It's gonna be real easy. So let's focus on the next thing, which is the braised beef is just about done. Man, that looks awesome. It smells awesome. Let me give you here. Here's a visual. Here's the braised beef, just so you can see how it's reduced inside with the wine, the onion, the garlic. It's all reduced nicely in the pan. So there you go. So again, beef's braised, but now we're gonna let it sit and cook for a while in the crock pot. Between that and the fact that it's Black Angus, I think it's gonna be really great once it sits in the crock pot for a while. So I'm gonna add some water to the crock pot. This is just some bottled water. Just gonna get it started. Here, let me turn this for you, because I want to get a base inside the pot itself. Because I'm gonna add the beef to the base that's going in the pot. I love sticking baby. Very nice, Nomo. Yeah, these carrots are for the other opening for now, but don't worry, they'll be coming out eventually. But it's gonna be good on the way in, let me tell you. In the meanwhile, we're gonna get the other base for the vegetables and the potatoes in the crock pot itself, ready to go. So let me show you guys how we're gonna do that. I want to get like a very good hearty base. It's going to be enhanced by the braised beef that we have over there with the wine reduction. So I'm going to add I'm thinking probably a cup of water, maybe a cup and a half. Let's see. So how am I going to do this? So we already have great beef flavor, but I will add a little bit of beef bouillon. So basically, as part of this base, we're gonna add some beef bouillon. And actually, it tells you right here, 2 cubes dissolved in 1 3/4 cups of boiling water. So that's essentially what I'm going to do. I'm gonna put a little more than 1 3/4 cups, because I'm going to be adding a little bit of tomato paste also. Probably about a tablespoon of tomato paste to 2 cups of water and 2 beef bouillon cubes. Maybe just like sorting people too much. Alright, so I'm going to open this up. Here. You can see what I'm doing. Basically just opening the beef bouillon. You see they come in little cubes like this. They'll dissolve in the boiling water. And that's what I'm going to kick off here. Let's see. Just little cubes. See? So I'm going to get a separate pot with 2 cups of boiling water. This isn't rocket science. You're filling a measuring cup with water. Alright, so we got our water. I'm going to bring that to a boil. That's our timer going off. So I'm just kicking off that timer. I'm going to give these potatoes just a couple more minutes here. Okay, we got that other water boiling. I'm going to open up, I got some paste, and then we're actually going to add 1 can of tomato sauce as well. And you can believe me, once we add the, you'll see for yourselves, once we add the beef and that sauteed reduction over there, it's going to give us a very robust base for the stew. But we're not done yet. We're just getting, we're only about halfway in, so there's more to come. Okay, so we got our sauce, we got our paste. Those will get added. Those will get added in just a moment. But I'll show you what we're doing as we're adding it. So don't worry, you're not going to miss anything. Just going to clear our cutting board a little bit. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we got some rosemary. Just going to take it out of the package, some fresh rosemary. Man, that smells good. I'm thinking this is more than enough. You take a look here. So there you go. That's what it looks like if you haven't seen rosemary. Okay. So basically the way this works... Oh, you were waiting? You're just waiting for it. So basically the way this works is you're just going to pull the leaves away from where they're growing on the stalk itself. So in this case, I'm just going to pull away. You kind of just pull them right off the branch, right into the cutting board. Rosemary is one of your favorites? Very nice, very nice. See? Great minds, great minds. Now, the one thing I don't have fresh here is oregano. So I will use a little dried oregano, but it's not like this is an oregano-heavy dish anyway, so it's not like we're putting too much, so I'm not too worried about it. The most important thing I find is to have fresh rosemary, and then the other thing that I'm going to be adding fresh, you'll see right here. And this smells fantastic. Use this often with a lot of poultry dishes, but if you've not had it in a beef stew, I would encourage you to try it in a beef stew. This is thyme, so this is fresh thyme. So same idea as the rosemary. We're gonna pull the thyme from the branches along with the rosemary, and then we're gonna give it a nice fine dice to add to the stew. So again, I'm just pulling these leaves away from the branch. Good. Same thing with the thyme, just pulling it away. Pulling away from the branches. But yeah, this is going to be phenomenal flavor to add in with everything else. Hang on, I gotta pull the potatoes off the heat. Be right back. Okay, potatoes are off the heat, so we're good there. I'm just gonna finish getting the rest of this thyme. Be right back in like 20 minutes. You're gonna miss me adding it to the crock pot. Just stop back if you can. But I'll see you in a few, Vlad. But yeah, you can see I'm basically just pulling the leaves off the stems here of the thyme. It's a little trickier than the rosemary to do it with the thyme, but it's fine. Probably best to do these one at a time, to be honest. I was trying to do too many at once, and I was paying the price for it. But yeah, these are just tiny little leaves from these herbs that are coming right off onto the cutting board. Alright, looking good. Casey's rummaging around the kitchen. I have no idea why. Alright, our water's boiling. Good. So now we're going to just shift for a moment. Okay, so here's our boiling water. You may recall we had 2 cups of boiling water. I'm going to transition the camera here. So you're going to see the crock pot now. So hang on. Get this high enough so you could actually see the crock pot. I guess that works, kind of. Oh, that's hot. I touched the hot crock pot. That was smart. Watch out, don't burn yourself, chat. Alright, so we're gonna do that, and... Yo, you did the job. What's up, dude? Coming back, 4 months, let's go. Making Hot Pockets or not? We're making, I mean, you could put this in a Hot Pocket if you wanted, you know, so that's your call, dude. But we're kicking it up with beef stew, the real deal, getting hearty on you. And that's what we're about hands deep in, elbows deep in right now. We're almost there. We're actually just making the base for the vegetables and the potatoes. We've already got the beef braised, and we've got the nice wine, shallot, garlic reduction over there ready to go. When life hands you lemons, you make beef stew. That's it. And right now, I'm just peeling off some more thyme off the branches here. We're almost done with the thyme. We're gonna dice, or not dice it. We're gonna chop it up real fine to add fresh herb into the mix. If you just leave without finishing, you're a troll. You get the hammer. But yeah, welcome back to the Time Chamber. A of the job. Enjoy those emotes. Appreciate you, and hope you're enjoying the stream. our cooking stream, our second ever. Although this is our first like real nitty gritty getting into it. You can see this is a longer stream than the salad stream. Obviously that was a salad. Now we're going with like hardcore. All right, so you've got the camera ready to go. Here, let me just move you guys so you can see. Here, I'm gonna move myself to the other side of the screen so I'm not like blocking everything. That's good. All right. So now, here, I'll move myself. Oh. Cool. Let's see if we can do this without spilling it. So I'm just pouring the boiling water right into the crock pot. That's what that is. That's boiling water right into the crock pot. Why boiling water? Why not? No, the reason is because we are going to be adding a couple of ingredients. First thing, we've got, like I said earlier, we got 2 cubes of beef bouillon. Beef bouillon, which really it's just it's almost like a flavor enhancer. It's just like packed, dense beef flavoring and spice right into a little cube shape. You can see. That's going right in. Boom. We're going to do one more. And these are going to completely break apart with the stew. Here, dropping it in. Nope, easy. All right, next, like I said, we're going to get about a tablespoon. I'm going to use an actual tablespoon. I'm not going to use dry measurement or anything for this. I'm basically just going to take a tablespoon of the paste. So you don't need a ton of tomato paste. Again, one like full tablespoon is sufficient, and that's just going to go right in as well. All right, so that's in. Tomato paste is in. At this point, I'm going to shift us back to our herbs. So let me just bring it back around here. Drop this down. So you can see. Okay. So again, we're just finishing up, getting some more of the thyme off the stalk. And let's see. I'm going to pull one more stalk here. And you can see what I'm doing. So again, here's the thyme. I'm basically just pulling the leaves away from the branch. So the branch, it's a thin little tiny soft branch. And you can see I'm actually just pulling the leaves off the branch. And it falls right onto the cutting board. And we're just going to chop that up real nicely. See? Look how much you get off of one little branch. It just comes right off. All right, so now that we got all that together on the cutting board, that's going to be nice for our for the vegetables that are going to be added in. I'm going to drain the potatoes now so that they don't cook off too much. You get a pot holder because the pot's pretty hot. Always pour away from yourself. You don't pour boiling water on yourself. Been there, done that. You don't want it. So basically, I'm just cooling off the potatoes just a little bit to stop the cooking momentarily. I'm going to resume the cooking in just a moment because they're going to be added into the crock pot. We're just going to table that for a second. Okay. Our braised beef is still ready to go. It's just been sitting here on a very low heat, so it didn't cook off any further. Normally I would have added it already, but it's fine. It'll get added with everything else in just a moment. We're going to resume, getting back to just cutting up our herbs here. So again, with this, keep your fingers tucked. cutting away from yourself, chef's knife, something like this. You could start with like just basically a chop, or you could actually just run the knife over it, keep your hand over the top of the knife, and you just cut down. Do it this way. You'll actually get a finer chop faster with something like these herbs. So again, this is just rosemary and thyme. Yo, what's up, JC? How you doing, dude? So we're just giving it a nice fine chop. I don't want big pieces of rosemary in the food, but I do want all that wonderful flavor. Because once we add everything else to it, it's going to be so robust, you guys aren't going to believe it. So again, you can see I'm still going over it a number of times. Just get it nice and fine. You don't want big leaves in the food. You just want that flavor packed in. Yeah, I'm going to be adding a couple of dry ingredients here in just a moment. But as far as fresh goes for the stew, and this goes for soups, like certain soups, like, certain chicken soups and things like that. Like a little fresh thyme is nice. But the rosemary really does it for a beef stew. Alright, so we're almost done chopping this. This is a pretty fine chop. I'll let you guys get a close-up in just a sec. Alright. So here's a close-up. You just take a look. Here we go. Alright, so that's just rosemary and thyme. Finely diced, or finely chopped. Not diced. And that's going right into the stew. So here's the stew. Once again. Here, get it on the knife for you. See? I'm just going to put it over. Here, this is what's already in the stew. You got some tomato paste, the beef bouillon, the boiling water. Okay, this is going to get mixed up in just a moment. But first, we're going to add the blend of herbs. That's not all of it. We got one more. In. One more. All right. So that's all in. At this point, we're going to add the potatoes. So let me let's move you back here. All right, so I'm going to clear off some of this extra from the cutting board. All right, we back to auto zoom yet? All right, there we go. All right, so as far as the potatoes go, I'm basically going to quarter or eighth these potatoes depending on how large they are. And they're going right in. Also, I'm going to add the tomato sauce right into the base here. So again, this isn't going to be like a tomato-based stew, okay? There's some tomato sauce and a little paste to mix with the water and the beef bouillon. But really what's going to give you most of the flavor is going to be the braised beef, the garlic, the shallot, the wine reduction. That's what's really going to do that along with these herbs. So I'm just going to add the sauce in, okay? It's just going to help to give us more of that base for the potatoes and the vegetables. Okay, the crock pot's already on high. Now we're just going to bring it back to the potatoes. Again, these are tender. They're not cooked all the way. They're still tough for me to cut through, but not too tough. They're actually hot inside. So I cooked them a little longer than I had to have. But it's fine. It just means that this will be ready a little sooner than it normally would. And given that this is Black Angus beef, I'm not too worried about it not cooking long enough and being tender. I think it'll be just fine. So again, I'm basically cutting these potatoes into eighths if they're large potatoes, and then just dropping them right into the stew base. Same thing, one through. They're not cooked all the way. Again, I just warmed them up because it is difficult sometimes to get a potato fully cooked unless you let it sit all day in the crock pot. And I would like to eat tonight, so there you go. That's just, I guess you'd call them one of those speed running tricks. So again, just cutting up these potatoes, dropping them right into the stew. I'll give you guys just a little bit of a look, see at it in just a moment after I add a couple more potatoes in here. So again, you can cut these any way you like. Just large cubes usually is fine. You don't want too small because the potato, you don't want to like become so starchy that it just that just becomes mush if you leave it in too long, and then it'll over thicken the sauce. Although it's really hard to over thicken a stew. I mean, honestly, even if the sauce, even if some of the potato breaks down the sauce, it's just going to give you a hearty feel and flavor to it. I don't think you'll have an issue, to be honest. So again, there's about 10 red potatoes that I have here because I got 2 pounds of beef. If you missed it earlier, we got 2 pounds of beef, so that you got plenty to freeze afterwards. And this is one of those dishes that is really nice and easy to freeze and reheat, and it's just as good, if not better. This is one of those dishes that's really, sometimes it's better the next day because it's absorbed all the flavors. Everything is just like exploding with flavor. What happened to our tunes? Hang on. I thought something was missing.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played J.
That's what I need. All right, let's go. All right, and we're back. So again, this is basically just dicing potatoes, adding them in. Tater SD. Tater HD. But this is so easy. I mean, you're really just quartering red potatoes and throwing them into the crock pot. This is not brain surgery. Just don't cut yourself, obviously. It's probably the biggest takeaway of this. All right. I think Casey wants up, but she's not getting up. Unfortunately for Casey. Alright, so here, just to show you where we are as far as the crock pot goes, there's a nice look inside the pot. You can see we've got potatoes, we've got some of our herbs, we've got some of the beef bouillon, the tomato. Next, we're going to be adding our braised beef. And let me give you a look-see how we came out here. So again, this is a reduction. Oh my god, you should smell this. So this is a reduction right here of the beef, the garlic, the not scallion, the shallot, the red wine, a little olive oil just to keep it from burning, salt and pepper, and right now this is going to get added right into the crock pot. So here we go. We move the cam so you can see it go in. Sorry for the, hang on. There we go, professional camera right here. There we go. Alright. Now you could actually see me add it directly into the crock pot. It's gonna go right in. The whole thing. Don't want to miss any of it. You want all that shallot, all that garlic, all that red wine, all that's going in. So by the way, I have the crock pot on a high heat. I'm just gonna give it a gentle stir, just to get it kind of mixed in a little bit. Yeah, the crock pot's on a high heat. By the looks of it, I'm probably going to add 1 more cup of boiling water to the mix, just to make sure that it's completely immersed. So I'm going to get that boiling. Okay, while we have that coming to a boil, we're going to add our carrots. So again, you remember those baby carrots that we had before? Here they are, already pre-washed and rinsed, okay? Just right in. The carrots need about equal cooking time as the potatoes anyway, when they're cut like this. And again, since the potatoes are pre-cooked, it should be fine. I'm gonna let these carrots, I'm probably gonna cook this for a couple hours on high in the crock pot to really just get everything nice and soft. If these carrots were any larger, I might even just like flash boil them for like 5 minutes or something. But they're so thin that honestly I think they'll be fine. Once I get them submerged in the crock pot on high for a couple hours, I think these carrots will be good to go. Alright, so that's in. Yeah, we still have some celery, which we'll add in a little bit, probably in about an hour. But in the meanwhile, we got the beef in. I'm going to add just a couple of our other seasonings. Okay, so you might be wondering, are we going to add any butter to this? We are going to add half a stick of butter to this. It's 4 tablespoons. Could add a little more, you could add a little less. Honestly, if you weren't health concerned, probably add the full stick, but I want to kind of moderate how much butter I'm adding, so a half stick it is. And that's going to get in the reduction, in the blend. and that's just going to melt in, and it's going to just reduce along with everything else, cook down with everything else in the crock pot for the couple hours. So the butter's added. Again, it just gives you a little bit of a richer, profile for the stew. So aside from the thyme and the rosemary, I'm going to add a little oregano. It works well with a number of protein dishes. I'm not going to go too crazy with it. Maybe about a tablespoon or so. It goes pretty far. Just trying to get a little bit of that flavor in. And then finally, I'm going to throw bay leaf in here. If you don't know, bay leaves, just another enhancement to many beefs, or many stews and soups. There you go. There's a bay leaf going right into the pot. Okay, so the butter's already melting. I'm just gonna give this a very light stir, just to get everything coated. Here, actually, I'll give you guys a shot of this. See what we have here. The carrots were the last thing I added, so it's not like it's a carrot stew. It's just the last thing that I happened to add. So let me give it a little bit of a toss here. The main things that you want to get cooking right away are the beef, just so it gets even more tender. Again, the potatoes and the carrots, those are going to be the hardest textures that you need to really soften so that they're tender to the bite. Otherwise, you're going to have hard carrots and you're going to have hard potatoes. So you really need to just make sure that these cook off right away. And that you leave these for a couple hours minimum inside the crock pot. Again, that's a 2-hour minimum. I'd rather see it go 4 hours, but in this case, because I already pre-cooked some of this, probably going to get away with about 2.5 hours in the crock pot on high. Maybe 3, just to play it safe. Obviously, the longer the better. But I'm pretty comfortable given the size of these carrots and the fact that I pre-cooked these potatoes and braised the beef, and that's Black Angus, that it'll probably be good to go in about 2.5 hours. So I'm just going to give it one more go. And then, like I said, I'm going to wait an hour before I add the celery. And I'm going to wait... Here, let me see when I'm talking to you. I'm going to wait an hour before I add the celery. And again, that's right here. And I'm going to add the green beans. There you go. Green beans, these are they're frozen, but they're organic. And I'm just going to add the whole bag of frozen green beans, and that's going to happen about an hour before they're, maybe like 45 minutes before I'm ready to pull the crock pot off. Actually, it doesn't even need that much time. I'd say, depending on the heat, and if I have it on a high heat, probably 30 minutes would be more than enough, to be honest. But yeah, the big thing is just to make sure you're cooking through the potatoes, the carrots, the beef. Let me get the rest of this mix here for you. Green beans is an interesting pick. Tell me more. Why do you say that? I'm not saying that's not true. I just, I'd like to hear your take. By the way, chat, here, let me give you a peek at what's inside the crock pot at the moment. And this is still reducing, obviously, but we're breaking down. But here you go. Here's a nice look inside the crock pot. Got our potatoes, our beef, carrots. I mean, these are pretty basic staples for beef stew. But then beyond this, like I said, we're going to be adding some celery, some green beans. We already have the herbs and spices in here. Given what I'm seeing here, it still needs the tomato paste, and this is just some of the butter that's melting still. But you can see some of the tomato sauce and the tomato paste is breaking down in here. In fact, I might add just a little more tomato paste into this mix. I don't normally hear green beans in pot roast recipes, but I can see it working. Yeah, it's it really does. It works very well. And you just throw them in at the end. It's just like another hearty green vegetable that, you know, it only pulls in the flavor. Green beans actually do a good job of pulling in the flavor of the stew. So I like adding them. I'm going to add maybe 1 or 2 more potatoes here, because I have the space for it. Again, just quartering them, tossing them in. Like I said, just a little bit more on the paste. Not a lot, but that's only because I added a little bit more of the boiling water. So again, it's just to make sure that we're not too runny here. I'm not adding cornstarch because there's so much starch already in it with the potatoes that it's going to thicken just fine. Like right now, it's not terribly thick, but that's just because it hasn't cooked off for long enough. Once we get it fully cooking off and going for a couple hours, we're going to have a nice hearty stew here. I'll give you another look inside here. You can see, like once the potato starts to break down a little bit, and once the bouillon cubes and the tomato paste fully like break down into the sauce, we're gonna have a full stew. So yeah, that's it for now. This water's piping hot. Like I know you can't see it, but there's like a light steam actually coming off of the crock pot. And we already know the beef is full with flavor from reducing the wine. So now at this point, we're just going to give it a good old cover up. Okay, we're going to let that sit. And let's see. Come over here. Hey guys. Here, I'll go on the big screen for you. So yeah, at this point, like I said, the green beans, that'll come in an hour. I'll add that in. And then the green beans will probably go in about an hour after that. I will go ahead and when I'm done, I'll get some pictures on the Discord. I may even, depending on how I'm feeling tonight, who knows, maybe we'll even come back online, even if it's just brief, like 10 or 20 minutes, just to see the final product, which I'm sure is going to be banging. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, maybe there was a lot there, but it's going to be really good when it's done, and it's going to give us, like I said, on 2 pounds of meat, that's enough for, you know, probably 6 people to eat. You know, figure about 1/3 of a pound each of the meat, along with, between the potatoes, vegetables, and the rest of the stew. And serve it with some nice dinner rolls, or Italian bread, or French bread, or whatever your liking is. Yeah. And it's all in one dish. So you got your protein, you got your starch, you got your vegetables, you're good to go. And then you'll just have to think about dessert. So yeah, anybody have any questions before we sign off? Any thoughts? How'd you guys like it? I know this was a little different, but you guys voted for it, so here we are. Hope you enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Thoughts, questions, concerns? Alright. On that case, like I said, you guys will see the final product in a couple hours. If you're not following, or if you don't have your notifications turned on, like I said, if I come back online, It'll be so you can see the final product here, and maybe we'll even do the taste test live. But at the very least, we'll put it up on the Discord. And if you're not on the Discord, there's the link. I appreciate you all hanging out. Kind of a later night, but we did a lot today. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Let's go ahead and we're gonna pass on the fun